Welcome to Academy of Civil Services online coaching for APSC and UPSC Indian Polity class 4. Today's class is on the preamble of Indian Constitution. I hope that all of you know what is the meaning of preamble. Preamble means introduction, and every book will have an introduction. If somebody is writing an article, it will have an introduction. Like that, the introduction of a constitution is known as the preamble, and the first constitution in the world to have a preamble was the American Constitution, not the Indian Constitution. And in another way, we can tell that the idea of having a preamble for the Constitution was also taken from the US Constitution or the American Constitution. Then the first constitution in the world to start with a preamble was the US Constitution or American Constitution. Many constitutions in the world are like this. They start directly from the part 1 or chapter 1 of the constitution without any preamble. But the Indian Constitution starts with a preamble, and the preamble defines and explains the basic philosophy of the Indian Constitution and the basic nature of the Indian state and the values which are being upheld by the state of India. And next point, the preamble is known as the identity card of the Constitution, and it is known as the identity card of Indian Constitution. The point is that everybody, all of us have an identity card, and that is the identity of the person. What is the name of the person, what is the family background of the person, what is the age of the person, all the basic information about an individual would be mentioned in the identity card of the person. Like that, all the basic information about the Indian Constitution is mentioned, is summarized in the preamble of the Constitution. That is why the preamble is known as the identity card of the Indian Constitution. And third point, we already discussed that during the Constituent Assembly, the chapter on the Constituent Assembly, we already discussed about objectives resolution. In the Constituent Assembly, the Assembly appointed Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, to draft what is the basic philosophy of the Indian Constitution. What are the major objectives of the Indian Constitution? Then Nehru drafted a resolution named as Objectives Resolution. That means in this resolution, Jawaharlal Nehru explained the basic objectives of the Constitution of India or the basic objectives of the state of India. That is, India would be a democratic country, India would be a sovereign country, India would be a republic, and India would be a sovereign democratic republic. That way, in that way, what is the basic philosophy of the Indian states was prepared by Jawaharlal Nehru in the Objectives Resolution, and the same Objectives Resolution was changed into the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Then the original form of the preamble was the Objectives Resolution prepared by Nehru, and it was converted, summarized, and the language was changed and incorporated into the Indian Constitution as the preamble. And that is the basic informations regarding the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Now we can check what is the preamble of the Constitution. We can go to the text of the preamble. What is written in the preamble? What are the major components of the preamble, and how is the analysis of the preamble? In another way, we can analyze the preamble. What are there inside the preamble of the Indian Constitution? Analysis of the preamble. The preamble starts with, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Then it starts with, we the people of India, and the first sentence itself gives an information what is the source of authority in India and who is the source of authority. According to the preamble, the source of authority in India We may have different answers if the question is asked, what is the source of authority in India? Somebody may answer the source of authority in India is government, and some other people may have the answer the source of authority in India is the Prime Minister, he has all the authority. And some people may answer that the source of authority in India, if a general question is asked, what is the source of authority in India? Somebody may answer that Constitution is the source of authority in India. But according to the preamble of the Indian Constitution, all these things are not the source of authority. Government is not the source of authority. Prime Minister is not the source of authority, or the Constitution is also not the source of authority in India. According to the Constitution of India or the preamble of the Constitution, people of India are the source of authority. There is no government without the support of the people. That is why the source of authority in India is the people of India. That is why the Constitution starts with we, the people of India, and we having solemnly resolved to constitute India, we make the country. What type of country we are making? The country we are making is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and this is the nature of the country we are making. Nobody else is making. The government is not making the country, or the Prime Minister is not making the country, and the Constitution is also not constituting the country. The country is constituted by, or we are making the country and resolving the country to make into such a nature, that is the people of India. Then the ultimate source of authority in India is the people of India according to the preamble of the Indian Constitution. And the second thing analyzed in the or explained in the preamble is that nature of the state. What is the nature of the Indian state? What type of state it is? Different types of the states are there in the world, and we may have some democratic states are there, and India is one of the democratic states, and democracy is one type of the state. And we may have some kind of theocratic. Pakistan is a theocratic state, or we can call Saudi Arabia is a theocratic state, and some other states may be aristocratic. There is only one single person. The previous Iraq was an aristocratic state. There is only one person rules and take the decision on the state, and different types of the states would be there. Then what is the basic nature of the Indian state is again explained in the preamble of the Constitution. We can look what is the basic nature, and preamble tells that we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into, then explains the nature into sovereign. The first nature of the Indian state is sovereign, and second one is socialist, and India is a sovereign country. Second one socialist, third one secular, and the fourth is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and the fifth one is the republic. Then in the nature, basic nature of Indian state is 5. According to the preamble of the Indian Constitution, the basic nature of the Indian state is 5. Then first one is India is a sovereign, second one socialist, third one secular, fourth one democratic, and fifth one India is a republic. We can look into the details. What is the meaning of a sovereign state? Meaning of a sovereign state. Sovereign means that we have the authority, or the Indian Parliament has the authority to add a territory into India tomorrow. If somebody wants to join with India, imagine that Nepal voluntarily comes up and tells that we want to join with India. Then we have the authority, or the Parliament of India, that is the representation of the people of India, has the authority to accept a new state into India, or a new territory into India. That is one meaning of the sovereignty. Again, we have one more capacity, one more power. The parliament has the power to cede a territory of India for another country also. If we wish that this territory is more suitable to join with another country, then we have the power, parliament has the power to do that. That is called as the sovereignty. We have the power to accept a part of the territory or a territory from outside into India, and we have also the power to give a territory of India into any other country. And so far, whether we have accepted any country or we have given any part of India into any other part, yes, we have done that. Sikkim, and Sikkim, when we got the independence, Sikkim was outside India, it was not a part of India, and Sikkim was ruled by a king called as the, or dynasty called as the Chogyal dynasty, and Chogyal dynasty was ruling Sikkim. And in 1965, the Sikkim wanted to join India, and the people of the Sikkim unanimously they demanded India, please accept us as a part of India. Then in 1965, we accepted Sikkim as a full-fledged state of India. Another thing, whether we have ceded any territory to any other country, an Indian territory. And one thing is that Beriberi, and this Beriberi was a part of the West Bengal, and there was a claim for Pakistan for this particular part of the West Bengal, and after a long case in the Supreme Court, the Parliament of India has given this Beriberi to Pakistan. Then this was given to Pakistan, and that is one example. We have ceded a territory to one international country, outside country, after the independence. One more I can give you. There was a small piece of island close to Tamil Nadu. The name of the island was Kachitivu, and it was a disputed island between India and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka had also a claim that is their territory. India had a claim that is our territory, and finally, through a bilateral meeting or a bilateral agreement, we have given Kachitivu island to Sri Lanka, and this area we have ceded to Sri Lanka. That is another example. We use the power of sovereignty of India to give a territory of India after the decision taken in the parliament. We have given a territory of India into an international country or another country, and that is the meaning of sovereignty. We have the power, or the Parliament of India has the power to accept a part of, to accept any territory as a part of India, and again the Parliament has the power to cede a territory of India into any international country. And second one, what is socialism? Socialism means in the international political theory, the socialism means that the means of production is owned by the state. In another way, whatever are there as a commodity or an asset in the country, it will be under the ownership of the state. But India has not accepted the socialism as it is. We have accepted some good part of the socialism, because socialism has some impractical thing. Everything is owned by the state, no private property is there, and nobody will have their own land, their own house. Everything will be the government land, government house. That is not practical. But the practical side of socialism, that is giving equal wage for men and women, and giving adequate living wage for the laborers, and giving equality, maintaining equality among the upper class and the lower class people in making their payments, and strengthening the workers, the daily wage laborers, and these things are a part of the socialism, and Nehru was a big supporter of the socialism, and that is the meaning of socialist. In India, socialism will be implemented. That means India would try to make the economic equality among different sections of the people. And third one, secular. What is the meaning of secularism? Secularism, it has different meaning in different context. If you look into the European secularism, for them secularism means not following any religion, and they call the people who don't follow any religion as secular people, and other people as religious people, those who are following different religions. Then in that context, secularism means not following any religion. But in India, while coming to India, India is a hub of different multi-diverse religious organizations and the religious believers, and sometimes we may have the largest variety of the religions in the world, and most of the people, more than 90% of the Indian people, are either believing in one religion or the other. That is why in the Indian context, according to the Constitution of India, secularism means that there is no official religion for the state. The state of India, there is no official religion for the Indian state. The state of India will not have any official religion. We have an official language, that is Hindi, and we have a national anthem and we have a national song, but there is no national religion. No official religion would be there. Neither Hinduism nor Islam nor Sikhism nor any other religion would never be accepted as the official religion of India. That is the one meaning of the secularism. And the second meaning is that state would have a equidistance towards every religion. All religions would be treated equally by the state. There would be an equidistance towards every religion. Then no religion will be favored and no religion will face any hatred in the country. And by the state, from the state, all the religions organizations, all the religious believers will get equal treatment. That is the meaning of the Indian secularism. Then Indian secularism means that there is no official religion for the state, and second thing, all the people who are believing in different religious beliefs, they will get equal treatment from the state of India or the government of India. And the next one, the fourth important characteristic of the state or nature of the state as explained in the preamble of the Indian Constitution is that India is a democratic state. Democracy, everybody knows what is the meaning. The former American president Abraham Lincoln has given a very famous definition for the democracy. Democracy means by the people, for the people, and from the people. From the people of India, we will elect some people for the people. Then by the people they will be elected. They are elected for the people, and the people they are elected from the people. That means we will elect through regular elections. We will have the choice to choose some people from among us as our representatives in the state legislative assembly or the Parliament of India. Then the rulers of India will be elected through regular elections. We have elections in the every 5 years. Then there would be elections after regular interval to decide who will be ruling the country for a particular next few years, that is 5 years in India. That is the meaning of democracy. Next one, the fifth nature of the state as explained in the preamble of the Indian Constitution is that India is a republic. What is the meaning of republic? We celebrate the Republic Day on 26th January every year, and every year and starting from 1950 we celebrate 26th January as the Republic Day. Then what is the meaning of republic? Republic means that the head of the state is elected. A country in which head of the state is elected person, not a nominated person. Then in India, who is the head of the state? Yes, the head of the state in India is the President of India, and President of India is an elected person in India, not a nominated person in India. If you look into UK, the United Kingdom or the Great Britain, the head of the state is there is either the king or the queen. That is a hereditary post. They are not elected, they are nominated. After the demise of one queen, the another queen will be automatically nominated for Britain. It is not like that in India. Every 5 years or after the expiry of one president, we will choose another president of India through an election. In that particular election, we are not voting, the common people are not casting their vote, but our representatives, all elected MPs of Lok Sabha, all elected MPs of Rajya Sabha, all elected MPs of 29 states in India, so all elected MLAs of 29 states in India, and all elected MLAs of 2 union territories, Delhi and Puducherry, are casting their vote on behalf of us in the election of the President of India and elect a president. That means India is such a state in which the head of the state, who is the President of India, is an elected person, not a nominated person. Now, there is a question. Why then we celebrate 26th January as the Republic Day? That means on 26th January 1950, we started functioning on a system. The system was drafted by the Constitution of India. On 26th January 1950, the country started functioning according to the Constitution of India, in which the nature of the state was that a elected president of India would be there. Then we started functioning with an elected president on 26 January 1950 by accepting or commencing the function of the state with a constitution which describes the nature of the state, with an elected president as the head of the state and elected prime minister as the de facto ruler or the real ruler of the country. That is why we call it as a Republic Day on 26 January, when we started functioning according to the new Constitution of India. Then these are 5 are the nature of the state according to the preamble. One is India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. These 5 are the nature of the state of India according to the preamble of the Constitution of India, as explained in the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble as a third part explains what are the objectives of the Indian Constitution. First, we discuss what is the source of authority, as discussed in the preamble of the Constitution is the people of India. And second one, the nature of the Indian state, as mentioned, as discussed in the preamble, is India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. And the next point is that what are the objectives of the Constitution, as discussed in the preamble of the Constitution. Then objectives. Preamble discusses few objectives. Next section, if we are going to the text of the preamble continues to secure all the citizens. The objective of the Constitution is that to secure all the people of India or citizens of India justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. The justice, first one, the first objective of the Constitution is to secure all the citizens the justice. Then what type of justice? Justice, 3 type of the justice is discussed in the preamble of the Constitution: justice, social, economic and political justice. What is the meaning of social justice? Social justice means that you should have a equal position. All the citizens in India should have a equal position. No caste system should be there. Nobody should be considered dominating the other citizen. On the basis of the citizenship, the category of the citizenship will be only one social category. No extraordinary citizen, no high priority citizen in India or no low quality citizen. Each and every person who has a passport of India would be considered socially as equal citizens. Then the justice, the first justice is social justice, and second one is economic justice. Economic justice means that everybody in India will have equal economic space. That does not mean everybody will have the equal money. Somebody will have more money, somebody may have the less amount of income, but everybody has equal opportunity. For example, to start a business, Everybody has the freedom. If somebody wants to start, they can start. But that is according to the citizens. To do a particular profession, everybody has the freedom, but only one condition should be there. For some particular profession, some educational qualifications may be demanded. That is why to be rich and to earn and to have income, everybody in India will have the freedom. That is another justice, social, economic, and third justice is political justice. And political justice is also ensured for all the citizens in India. Political justice means that everybody in India has the right to vote, and all the people who are above 18 years old, they can cast their vote in the election. One thing. Another one, along with certain conditions, everybody in India can be a candidate also. And somebody may be supported by a party. Even if you are not supported by a party, you can be a candidate, independent candidate. And there should also be some kind of criteria, that is, you may sometimes that may demand. For example, for the state legislative assembly and for the Lok Sabha, the person has to be minimum 25 years and above old. For the Rajya Sabha, the person has to be 30 years old or more than 30 years old. To be the President of India, the person needs to be more than 35. Some certain, according to and subject to certain conditions, everybody has the freedom to be a candidate in the election, and everybody has the freedom to cast their vote in the election. Then all citizens, no citizen would get 2 votes, and everybody's vote is counted equally. That is the political freedom. Then justice. Then justice, social, economic, and political justice, that is the first objective of the Constitution of India. And second one is liberty. And what type of liberty, we will discuss that. Liberty means freedom. Then all the citizens in India have certain freedoms ensured, guaranteed by the Constitution of India, and the preamble discusses these freedom or the liberty of thought. You can think whatever you wish, and there is no limitation on what you think or what you will not think. Liberty of the thought is there. And second one, liberty of the expression. You have the freedom to express what is there in your mind. Sometimes you may express by the speeches. Somebody is giving a speech to the people and express his views, and another people may be writing an article and expressing their view. Somebody may be writing a poem and expressing their view. Somebody may do some kind of art, a picture or a art will be done for expressing their thought. And then liberty of thought is there, liberty of expression is there, and third one, liberty of the belief and faith. Liberty of belief, faith. You have the liberty, you have the freedom to be a believer and to be a non-believer also, and you have the freedom to have faith in different gods or different ideas. You have the freedom to follow whatever belief or whatever faith you want to follow or whatever religion you want to follow. And next is the liberty of worship. These are the liberties ensured by to worship whatever God you want, and to worship anything. You have the freedom to worship whatever you wish to worship. In India, you will get the freedom to do that, or the liberty. Then the objectives of the Constitution. First one we discussed, that is justice. Second one is the liberty. Justice is social, economic, and political. Liberty, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. And next one, and the third one is equality. We can look what equalities are ensured or guaranteed by the preamble of the Constitution of India. The third one is equality. Equality, all of us know what is the meaning, that is considering everybody as an equal. Equality, one thing, equality of status and opportunity. Everybody in India will have same status, Nobody would be considered only by birth, and nobody would be considered by birth he is an extraordinary status person. It would not be there. No ascribed status. Why I am telling that? Before the independence, during the British time, or starting from the later Vedic era, there was a status system in India. Somebody who is born in a particular family is considered as an higher caste or higher status person. Somebody who is unfortunately born in another particular family for another particular parents, he was considered as a lower caste person, and he was supposed to do some humiliative works, and that system would not be continued in the modern constitution of India, that is the equality of the status. Second one, equality of opportunity. Imagine that there is a government job vacancy. Everybody would have equal opportunity. Then a common examination would be held. All the people who are eligible to appear for the examination can appear. There would be no obstacle of the religion. Only for this particular religious community can appear the examination. No obstacle of the region. Only if the people from South India or North India or Northeast India can appear the examination. It would not be there. Then equality of opportunity. No obstacle of the gender. And women or only men can be a particular servant, except in some specific areas, especially the army, air force and navy. There are some restrictions, but still commonly there would be equality of the opportunity. Then equality of status and opportunity, that is the third objective of the Constitution of India. And the fourth objective of the Constitution is fraternity. Fraternity, what is the meaning of fraternity? Fraternity simply means the brotherhood. Then Constitution, the text of the preamble continues that the aim of the objective of the Constitution is to promote among all Indians equality, among all Indians the fraternity, promote them among them the brotherhood, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Then the fraternity is offered for a particular reason, and the reason is that only through the fraternity or the brotherhood, dignity of the individual would be realized. Then it is given for maintaining or for making up the dignity of individual. That is the one reason why fraternity is motivated, why fraternity is included as a objective of the Indian Constitution, to promote dignity of the individual or for assuring the dignity of the individual, and next one, to promote, to assure the unity and integrity of the nation. In the nation, there would be unity among the people and integrity. Integrity means that the strong feeling of the mutual bondness. I should have a strong feeling that I have a mutual bondness with my fellow Indian citizen. Only then. It should not be looked in the eye of different religion or different caste, sex. I have to look only to the other person as my fellow citizen of the country. We take the pledge in the school, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. That is the meaning of the fraternity. Looking into all Indians as our own brothers and sisters, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, gender and their place of birth. Don't mind anything. If he is an Indian, he is my brother or she is my sister. That consideration should be there, that mindset should be there. That is the fraternity, and the benefit of the fraternity is that the fraternity will ensure the dignity of the individual. Otherwise, if you are looking to other person as an other, or he is from other religion, then I have to do some harm for him, then there would be no dignity of the individual. Second one, again, if some Indian is looking to the other person, he is some particular other community or other to me or an enemy to me, there would be no unity and integrity in the country. Then fraternity has to be promoted to promote among them all the citizens, fraternity, ensuring or assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. That is the text of the preamble. Now we discuss all the 4 objectives of the constitution as explained in the preamble of the constitution. Then first one is justice, social, economic and political. Second one, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. And the third one is equality of status and opportunity. And the fourth one, and to promote among all Indians the fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. Next is the date of adoption. The preamble of the Constitution of India itself mentions the date of the adoption. If we are going to the last portion of the preamble, we can get that in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, that is 26th November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this constitution. That is, the meaning is that the function, the drafting of the constitution finished, and 26th November 1949, there was a whole session of the Constituent Assembly. On that Constituent Assembly, the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution of India as the official constitution. That means, if the Constituent Assembly adopts the constitution, they are our representatives. We have elected them. Then as they are the representatives of the people, it is equivalent to that the people of India adopted the constitution on this particular date, that is 26 November 1949. Then the last portion of the preamble is that adoption, when we adopted. The preamble tells that on 26th November 1949, the constitution was adopted by the nation, and going to the text, it reads like this: and in our Constituent Assembly, and that Constituent Assembly took a decision that this 26th day of November 1949 do hereby enact, adopt and give to ourselves the Constitution of India. That is the end of the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Now we can check something from the preamble of the Indian Constitution, that is amendment of the preamble. Amendment of the preamble. Then the original preamble was not like this, as we have seen so far, and we discussed so far. In the original preamble, some words were not there. Then 3 words were added to the preamble later. One is the socialism, and the word socialist, while explaining the nature of the state of India, we discussed that India is a sovereign, socialist and secular democratic republic. And then the second word socialist was not there in the original preamble of the constitution, it was added later. And second word is also secular, and secular was also added later. And then in the nature of the state, we again discuss about socialist, secular, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. In the original constitution, it was there, the text was that sovereign, democratic republic. There was not socialist and secular. These 2 words were added later. One more word, that is the integrity. In the last one, in the objectives of the state, in the objectives of the constitution, we discussed that the objective is that to give everybody the fraternity, to see everybody as the fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. That word integrity inside the fraternity, while discussing the fraternity is to assure the dignity of the individual and unity of the nation. It was the original text, and the unity and integrity, that integrity was also added later. We can check when it was added. It was added by the 42nd Amendment Act of the Indian Constitution. 42nd Amendment Act of the Indian Constitution in 1976 added these three words into the preamble of the Constitution. 42nd Amendment, it is called as a mini constitution. Why? The 42nd Amendment Act has changed many provisions in the Constitution of India. Most of the chapters got some changes by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976. That is why it is called as a mini constitution of India. Anyway, the point here in this chapter is that the 42nd amendment means change. Different changes have happened in the Indian Constitution. So far 101 changes have happened. The 101st change amendment, the 101st amendment of the Indian Constitution was recently passed for implementing the GST. Then whenever new things comes up, we have to change the constitution also. Then in 2016, 101st Amendment Act was passed in India for implementing the GST, a new taxation system. And like that, the 42nd Amendment of the Indian Constitution or change in the Indian Constitution was done in 1976. In that change, in that amendment, we added these three words into the preamble of the Constitution. Next is some more points regarding the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble of the Constitution, one thing, it is known as the horoscope of our sovereign democratic republic. And first explanation, first one characteristics of the preamble is that preamble is known as the horoscope of the, horoscope means that the prediction of the future, and horoscope of sovereign democratic republic. And preamble explains India as a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic. Then the sovereignty and democracy and republic, these three natures, characters of the Indian Constitution. Horoscope of sovereign democratic republic means that it defines how the future of the Indian state would be. Till the end of the world, India would be a sovereign democratic republic. Then horoscope means the future prediction of the nature of Indian state is done in the preamble. That is why it is known as the horoscope of sovereign democratic republic of India. And the second nature characteristic of the preamble is that it is known as the key of constitution. Key means for opening something or opening a house or starting a vehicle, we use the key, and that is the starting point of the key of the Constitution of India is the preamble. Then for opening something or starting something, we have to use the key. Then to enter the Constitution of India, we have to open the Constitution through the preamble and enter inside the Constitution. Then preamble is again known as the key of the Constitution, horoscope of sovereign democratic republic. Another thing, preamble is something very beautiful and beautifully presents what is the nature of Indian state. Then it is again called as the jewel set of the Indian Constitution. Jewel set is very beautiful thing. If you apply that on something, some ornaments, if you make some jewels, then ornament becomes beautiful. Then jewel set of the Constitution, it has beautifully presented or beautifully summarized the Constitution of India. That is why it is known as the jewel set of the Constitution or some jewel set in the Constitution of India, because this sovereignty, democracy, socialism, republic and fraternity, equality, all these things are something beautiful in the social sense. Then beautiful theories or beautiful concepts in the social sense. All the beautiful concepts of a state is summarized in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. And these three are the characteristics, or the preamble of India is known in with these three characteristics or natures, that is the horoscope of sovereign democratic republic, and second one is the key to constitution, third one, the jewel set in the Constitution. Next, whether preamble is a part of Constitution or is it outside the Constitution. Another discussion is that sometimes the introduction of a book, whether it is a part of the book or is it something outside the book. Sometimes it happens that if somebody writes a book, introduction is written by somebody else, then whether it is a part of the text or not is a discussion. Like that, there was a discussion whether the preamble is a part of Indian Constitution or not. In the Keshavananda Bharati case, there was a famous case in India related to the land reforms. We have a huge discussion, big discussion on this case in the chapter on the fundamental rights. That is why I am not explaining much here and simply understanding. In the famous Keshavananda Bharati case, the Supreme Court of India has given a judgment that the preamble is a part of the Constitution. Then preamble has the complete value of being a part of the Constitution. If it is outside the Constitution, it will not get the consideration of a chapter or a part of the Constitution. That is why in the Keshavananda Bharati case, the Supreme Court has made a judgment. Then according to the Supreme Court judgment, in the famous Keshavananda Bharati case, preamble is a part of Indian Constitution. And next one, whether preamble can be amended or not. Can we change the preamble? And we can, because we have already done. In the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976, preamble has been amended. Then preamble can be amended, but some portion of the preamble cannot be deleted. You cannot erase. There is a concept called as the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Basic structure means that if there is a house, there would be a base for the house, or a basic structure of the house. Under the house there will be some basic structure. If that basic structure collapses, the whole house will collapse. Then the roof will collapse, walls will collapse, and the complete structure stands up on the base. Then in the Constitution of India also, the Supreme Court of India has suggested something is the basic structure of the Constitution. For example, democracy. Democracy is the basic structure. Then tomorrow, no government can bring an amendment by deleting democracy from the preamble and declaring that India is no more democracy, no election would be there, I am the king of India. Nobody can declare. Then that is because democracy is a basic structure of the Indian Constitution that cannot be deleted, that cannot be destroyed. Then secularism is a basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Then tomorrow, no king, no prime minister can declare that India is a country for a particular religious class only and all others have to move away. That cannot be declared because secularism is a basic structure. You cannot delete it from the Constitution of India. And preamble can be amended, but the basic structure of the Indian Constitution which is mentioned or which are mentioned in the preamble cannot be deleted. That is the only one condition. Otherwise, all other portions of the preamble can be changed. Some words can be replaced, some words can be deleted, but the basic structure, whatever comes under the condition of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution which is mentioned in the preamble cannot be erased, cannot be abridged, cannot be deleted. That is the condition. And on basic structure of the Constitution also we have a complete chapter. There we will discuss what are the basic structures. 21 basic structures are there in the Indian Constitution, and the basic structure, whether it is a basic structure or not, it is decided by the Supreme Court of India. Thank you.